We're less than a day away from knowing who's won the big semi-final elections in 2017. Is the BJP building to a second wave that could take it into 2019? To talk about this, we have with us two veteran observers of India's political economy, Shankar Iyer and Sanjay Pugalia. Sanjay, let me start with you. We've had exit polls released on Thursday evening, and those show a broad trend of the BJP emerging as the single largest party. Some show a healthy majority, others show the party either side of the 202 mark in Uttar Pradesh. That's the one state, let's start with that, where everybody is having their close eye on. Do you agree with the broad trend? Let's not get into specific numbers. Do you agree with the broad trend that the BJP could emerge as the single largest formation in Uttar Pradesh?
It seems possible now that BJP would emerge as the single largest party in UP. The consensus is on that it will be a hung assembly. But if BJP makes it to number one, then it may make it to the nearing the majority mark also, because it will mean that votes between SP and BSP have been divided. The anti-BJP votes have been divided in a manner that should help BJP push towards a better vote share at a very lower threshold also.
Shankar, about 20 days ago you wrote a very interesting column on why Uttar Pradesh matters for what you call the India story. Very briefly talk about the dynamics of the social numbers in this state and how that ties into the rest of India's economy.
Well, Uttar Pradesh is a sub-national state in some sense. With a population of over 215 million, it accounts for 1/6 of India's population. And 1/6 of India's population living on less than half the national average per capita income is simply not tenable. And if you look at Uttar Pradesh, it is a laboratory of everything that is going wrong in India, and all the challenges and all the opportunities. The opportunity demographically is phenomenal. It has the largest number of young people anywhere in the country. So if BJP, as the exit polls indicate, is ahead and wins Uttar Pradesh, they would probably be ruling over 2/3 of the population, nearly 2/3. And in that sense, it's a very significant election. And if they deliver even part of what they promise, I think it will boost the India story. Though personally, I think that a state with 1 lakh villages and 75 districts and 800 blocks is simply not governable in its present structure. It just has to be broken into smaller states. And this is not a new theory. This was set by Ambedkar in 1955. So this is a theory that has to work out for the India story.
Sanjay, look at the way the numbers are being projected in Uttarakhand and in Manipur. What does this say about the continuing trend across North and Northeast India, wherever there is a straight fight between the Congress and the BJP, the Congress is not able to hold its ground unless there is a third player. Is that a situation you're seeing likely to prevail over here as well?
नहीं, बिल्कुल सही है कि जहां जहां कांग्रेस स्ट्रेट फाइट में है, उन स्टेट्स में भी अगर बीजेपी के 3 साल के बाद एंटी इनकम्बेंसी सेंटिमेंट को इनकैश नहीं कर पा रही है, तो ये कांग्रेस का एक मेजर ड्रॉबैक है और कांग्रेस को इन चीजों को फिक्स करना पड़ेगा। यूपी में पिगी बैक राइडिंग जो की है समाजवादी पार्टी के साथ, वो भी कितना हेल्पफुल होगा, अब ये तो 11 तारीख को पता लगेगा। लेकिन कांग्रेस पार्टी के बारे में जो एक जनरल नेगेटिव सेंटीमेंट प्रिवेल कर रहा था 2014 इलेक्शन तक, लगता है कि वो कंटिन्यू कर रहा है और मोदी जी भी और बीजेपी भी उसको ठीक तरीके से हवा दे रहे हैं।
Shankar, why is Punjab different this year?
I think you have to account for a long period of incumbency for the Akalis and BJP. The other part is that Punjab represents the issues that deal with agriculture, yield, productivity, and also the sort of comatose state of manufacturing, investment in manufacturing. So there is a anger that is brewing there, and then there is this general atmosphere of corruption. I mean, speaking of Congress, if you look at it, it is in the 80s economy, in some sense, their business model. They have dealerships and they have no product. And so their dealerships cannot sustain unless the party comes up with a product or an idea that is saleable in the market. And they, every time they are one to one with the BJP, faced with the BJP, they simply crumble. And even this lease line idea, that they have tried in Uttar Pradesh, I think that has been more to the detriment of Samajwadi Party, and this is what had happened in Tamil Nadu also, where the DMK suffered because it had tied up with the Congress. So Punjab and Uttar Pradesh may yield different results, primarily because of the incumbency issue. The BJP also has to figure out which allies are sustainable. So in Maharashtra, they're struggling with the ally who claims that Shiv Sena, that it is not an ally. And in Punjab, they have struggled even in the 2014 elections with the Akali Dal. So the Amit Shah Modi formula of Ekla Chalo Re may just gain momentum after these elections.
Right. Sanjay, was this a vote across these states as an equal referendum on the Prime Minister and his central government's performance for the last close to 3 years? Or were these, do you see these as individual state issues? And therefore the point being, would any result therefore be reflective of the mood of a fair amount of people in this country about this government in Delhi, coming as it does 5 months after a significant political decision and an economic decision was taken?
बिल्कुल, देखिए सारे स्टेट इलेक्शन अपने अपने अलग अलग नैरेटिव पे ही लड़े जाते हैं, लेकिन यहाँ पर मुझे लगता है कि डीमोनेटाइजेशन से प्राइम मिनिस्टर ने खुद इस इलेक्शन को अपने लिए एक रेफरेंडम में कन्वर्ट कर दिया, और बाद में जिस तरीके से यूपी में उन्होंने पर्सनली जोर लगाया, जिस तरीके से बनारस में क्रिसेंडो पे अपना कैंपेन खत्म किया, उससे साफ था कि वो अब चाहते हैं कि इस इलेक्शन का जो आउटकम हो उस पर मोदी जी का अपना स्टैंप पूरी तरह से लगा हुआ हो। और जो सबसे चैलेंजिंग फैक्टर सामने आ रहा है वो ये है कि डीमोनेटाइजेशन जैसा इकोनॉमिक रैशनल से बिल्कुल दूर वाली चीज जो थी, उस चीज को अगर ये डाइजेस्ट करा लेते हैं और उसके कारण नुकसान नहीं होता है, शायद फायदा होता है। यूपी में 2012 में इट वाज अ पार्टी नंबर 3, but suppose from 15% vote share it goes up to 30-35% share. Of course it falls from 42% vote share of 2014 victory, but that's a different matrix. Point I wanted to make is Mr. Modi wanted this to be a referendum on him, and he might be successful on 11th. And why this is happening? Because caste matrix doesn't suit BJP.
Okay.
What Modi ji tried to do, that use class matrix, and demonetization might have successfully done that for Mr. Modi. That's why people are talking. Where will he get votes from in UP? So it will be non-Yadav OBC, extremely backward, extremely poor people, almost closer to the Dalit standard of living. So maybe he has carved out a new vote bank using class as a ploy.
You're saying he doesn't, does the old Brahmin Thakur vote stay with the BJP and they add this to that very quickly? So that becomes the addition that takes them to 35%, you're saying?
Yes.
Okay. Shankar, all of this is being seen by the market in a manner of trying to figure out how much capital they carry into those last 2 years. Map out what's left to do in the last 2 years. So then, however the numbers play out and however momentum they carry for the last 2 years, what's left to do now? GST, there is half the work in passing the second and third laws. What else does this government have lined up for the next 2 years?
Well, GST will sort of muddle around and come through by July. and we will have it, there will be some amount of disruption. But the principal point to be recognized here is that if Mr. Modi is able to get the population to digest something like demonetization, which on the face of it, intent wise is a good idea and execution was terrible, but he has carried it through and he has not suffered. In fact, he has gained political capital on it. So if that is his ability to carry the masses, then the big thing that he needs to do is to restructure the way India is governed. All his flagship programs, smart cities, Make in India, Swachh Bharat, all of those are good ideas, but these are not going to be implemented by the center. These have to be implemented by the states. And so roughly they would have, depending on the results, either 10 or 11 states with them. And this is perhaps the time for him to implement his Team India idea and sort of decentralize the central government, which runs contrary to the theme of centralization that he has practiced politically. But to sustain the centralization of the Modi Sarkar, he will have to decentralize, and that is what he might be able to take to the people in 2019. I know this is an ambitious idea, but I mean, demonetization was ambitious, right?
Fair enough. A two-part question to you, Sanjay, which is one, that how much of this adds up or will make a difference over the next year in the Rajya Sabha and the tally that the NDA enjoys? And tied to that, there are two parts of legislation that they've left to the states, and what Shankar said, that big issues like land and labor are now for the states to do. So even if the BJP's tally improves in the Rajya Sabha, what do they hope to push through with better numbers?
दो चीजें होंगी. ये जो 690 एमएलएस के इलेक्शन हो रहे हैं टोटल 5 स्टेट्स में, और बीजेपी को अपना प्रेसिडेंट चुनने के लिए करीबन 75,000 के वोट्स कम पड़ रहे हैं. तो अगर ये एक डिसेंट नंबर आ जाता है सारे इलेक्शन से, खास करके यूपी से, तो बीजेपी इस पोजीशन में होगी कि अपने नॉमिनी को वो प्रेसिडेंट के तौर पर एक्सेप्ट करा ले और वो जीत जाए. दूसरा मतलब ये होगा, अगर उसमें नंबर कम रहते हैं तो कुछ छोटी पार्टियों से, तमिलनाडु हो या समाजवादी बीएसपी हो या कुछ नॉर्थ ईस्ट के स्टेट्स हो, वहां से सपोर्ट इनको गार्नर करना पड़ेगा. राज्यसभा में नंबर थोड़ा सा इनके एडवांटेज में आएगा, जहां ये कुछ बिल्स को पुश करने की पोजीशन में होंगे. मेरा मानना है कि जो बिल इनको पुश करना है, ये जो करना चाहते हैं, ये अब ऐसे नंबर बन जाएंगे तो 2017 में भी, इस महीने के बाद से जब ये काम करा पाए. इशू ये है कि पॉलिटिकली इनको करना है या सिर्फ बताना है कि हम करना चाहते हैं. ये डिसीजन इन पर इस तरीके से डिपेंड करता है कि कोई भी चीज जो पब्लिक को हार्डशिप पहुंचाए या किसी वोटर ग्रुप को नाराज करे, ऐसा कोई भी काम, ऐसा कोई भी लेजिस्लेशन ये लोग पुश नहीं करेंगे जहां तक सेंट्रल लेजिस्लेशन का सवाल है.
All right, Sanjay. Shankar, thank you for making time. Both of them will be with us on Saturday. So tune in on BloombergQuint on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Go to BloombergQuint.com over the course of the next 24-48 hours to keep track of what these state elections mean for India's economy and its markets. Thank you for joining us this morning.